Karoline Leavitt's transformation is sparking an intense wave of reactions, with many fans expressing shock and even reluctance to see her new look. Once known for her natural beauty and youthful charm, Leavitt's recent changes have ignited heated debates across social media. Did she really go under the knife, or is this just another case of extreme speculation? One thing is certain, her appearance is causing quite a stir, and the internet can't stop talking about it. Let's find out her remarkable transformation. Recently, social network users have spoken out particularly harshly about Karoline Leavitt's surprising change. One Twitter user exclaiming, "What the hell has Karoline Leavitt done with her looks? A nose job and God knows what else. She's gone full Kardashian, and not in a good way. Compare what she used to look like." After that, all eyes were on Karoline Leavitt as she took the podium for her first official White House press briefing. With the weight of the administration's media strategy on her shoulders, she wasted no time making a bold announcement that would shake up the traditional press landscape. In a room filled with seasoned journalists and veteran reporters, Leavitt declared that the new administration would be granting a highly coveted front-row seat to new media voices. This inclusion would extend to independent journalists, podcasters, social media influencers, and content creators, signaling a significant shift in how the White House engages with the press. The move was met with a mixed response. Some heralded it as a necessary evolution in modern media consumption, applauding the administration's willingness to engage with non-traditional sources of news. Others, however, expressed skepticism, fearing that such a shift could dilute the professionalism and integrity of the press corps. But amidst this potentially transformative change, another topic quickly stole the spotlight. Leavitt's appearance, specifically her nose. Twitter erupted with speculation about what appeared to be a noticeably altered profile. "I can't stop staring at Karoline Leavitt's nose. It's so tiny," one Twitter user observed, drawing immediate reactions from others who had tuned in. Another critic was far less subtle, writing, "I'm normally the absolute last person to make fun of someone's appearance. But whoever did Karoline Leavitt's nose job needs to be banned from ever touching a scalpel again." The unfiltered social media commentary turned what should have been a momentous professional milestone into an online spectacle. Yet, despite the barrage of comments, Leavitt has remained silent on the matter, at least for now. While she has yet to address the swirling speculation, there is a very real possibility that her seemingly transformed look is merely a result of her expert makeup application. Those familiar with her social media presence may recall a November 2023 Instagram video she posted, aptly titled, "My TV Makeup Routine." In the video, she meticulously demonstrated her contouring technique, a method frequently used by television personalities to enhance their features under harsh studio lighting. By strategically applying darker and lighter shades, she was able to sculpt her face, including her nose, to appear more defined. Her followers were largely supportive of her makeup skills, showering the video with praise and engagement. However, as is often the case on social media, not everyone was impressed. "Too much," one unimpressed Instagram user commented, critiquing the heavy-handed approach. The public scrutiny over her appearance raises broader questions about the expectations placed on women in high-profile positions. While male counterparts are seldom subjected to such detailed examinations of their physical features, women in politics and media continue to find themselves under an intense magnifying glass. Rather than focusing on her policies or the implications of her press room shakeup, much of the conversation has instead fixated on whether or not she has undergone plastic surgery. In addition to the surprising change in appearance, you will be amazed once again when witnessing the spectacular change in her life and career. Karoline Claire Leavitt, raised in Atkinson, New Hampshire, a small town known for its close-knit community and traditional values. Growing up in a Catholic household, Leavitt was deeply influenced by her family's strong work ethic and entrepreneurial spirit. Her parents owned and operated two businesses in nearby Plaistow, New Hampshire, an ice cream shop and a used truck dealership. These family-run enterprises provided Leavitt with first-hand experience in small business operations, shaping her appreciation for hard work and economic self-sufficiency from a young age. For her high school education, Leavitt attended Central Catholic High School in Lawrence, Massachusetts, a private institution with a strong academic reputation. She graduated in 2015 and continued her studies at St. Anselm College, a private liberal arts college in Goffstown, New Hampshire. Her acceptance to St. Anselm came with a scholarship for NCAA Division II college softball, a testament to her dedication and talent in athletics. However, beyond sports, it was during her time at St. Anselm that Leavitt began to cultivate a serious interest in politics. Leavitt's involvement in political discourse became apparent during her college years. She was an outspoken conservative voice on campus, often expressing her views through op-eds in the college newspaper. Among her notable writings were a defense of former President Donald Trump's 2017 travel ban and a critical analysis of the mainstream media's coverage of political events. Her willingness to engage in controversial political discussions set her apart as an emerging conservative voice among her peers. Recognizing the importance of media in shaping public opinion, Leavitt took the initiative to establish St. Anselm College's first broadcasting club. This move reflected her keen interest in journalism and political communications, further preparing her for a career that would later blend both fields. While still a student, Leavitt gained professional experience at WMUR-TV, a Hearst television-owned station based in Manchester, New Hampshire. This role allowed her to develop a deeper understanding of media operations, news reporting, and political coverage. The experience proved invaluable as it gave her direct exposure to the world of journalism and political communications, fields that would later define her career. Leavitt graduated from St. Anselm College in 2019 with a bachelor's degree in communications and politics. Her achievement was particularly significant as she became the first member of her immediate family to earn a college degree. This milestone reflected both her personal dedication and the values instilled in her by her hard-working family. Karoline Leavitt gained valuable experience in media and politics during her time at St. Anselm College, setting the foundation for her career in public service and conservative political communications. While pursuing her degree in communications and politics, she secured an internship at Fox News, one of the most influential conservative media outlets in the United States. This opportunity allowed her to gain first-hand experience in news production, editorial writing, and the fast-paced world of political journalism. Her time at Fox News further reinforced her interest in conservative media and strengthened her ability to craft persuasive narratives that resonated with right-leaning audiences. Leavitt's ambitions extended beyond media as she sought direct experience in government. The summer before her senior year, she landed a prestigious internship at the White House Office of Presidential Correspondence. In this role, she was responsible for handling communications between the public and the administration, helping draft official responses to letters sent to then-President Donald Trump. This internship allowed her to develop a deeper understanding of how the executive branch engaged with American citizens and addressed their concerns. After graduating from St. Anselm College in 2019, Leavitt briefly returned to the White House, continuing her work in the Office of Presidential Correspondence. Her dedication and strong work ethic caught the attention of senior officials, leading to a promotion within the administration. Shortly thereafter, she joined the White House press office as an assistant press secretary under Kayleigh McEnany, the Trump administration's final press secretary. In this position, Leavitt played a key role in managing media relations and preparing official statements on behalf of the administration. Working closely with McEnany, she helped craft messaging that defended Trump's policies, responded to media inquiries, and shaped public perception of the administration. Her responsibilities included coordinating press briefings, drafting talking points, and ensuring that White House communications aligned with the administration's broader strategic goals. Leavitt's tenure in the White House press office coincided with a particularly turbulent period in American politics, marked by intense media scrutiny and political polarization. Throughout her time in this role, she developed a reputation for being a staunch defender of conservative policies and an effective communicator under pressure. Following the conclusion of Donald Trump's first term in January 2021, Leavitt transitioned into a new role in Republican politics. She was hired as the communications director for U.S. Representative Elise Stefanik, a congresswoman from New York's 21st Congressional District and a rising star within the Republican Party. As Stefanik's communications director, Leavitt was responsible for managing media relations, shaping the Congresswoman's public messaging, and promoting key legislative initiatives. In 2022, Karoline Leavitt entered the political arena as a candidate for the U.S. House of Representatives in New Hampshire's 1st Congressional District. Her candidacy quickly gained national attention as the Republican primary became a showdown between two former Trump administration staffers. Leavitt positioned herself as the more aggressively pro-Trump candidate, adopting a bold and unapologetic style reminiscent of the former president himself. She distinguished herself with a populist anti-establishment campaign, criticizing her main opponent, Matt Mowers, for his ties to the swamp and establishment Republicans. A key point of contention was Mowers' reliance on funding from outside passees, which Leavitt framed as evidence that he was beholden to Washington insiders rather than the voters of New Hampshire. The New York Times noted that while Leavitt and Mowers shared similar ideological positions, their race was largely a matter of tone and style rather than policy differences. Leavitt's fiery rhetoric and unwavering support for Trump-era policies helped her secure endorsements from prominent conservative figures, including Representative Lauren Boebert, Senator Ted Cruz, and her former boss, Representative Elise Stefanik. These endorsements bolstered her profile among Republican primary voters, positioning her as the candidate most aligned with the party's MAGA wing. Despite being seen as an underdog early in the race, Leavitt secured a surprise victory in the September 2022 Republican primary, defying expectations and cementing her status as a rising star within the party. However, her momentum was short-lived. In the general election, she faced Democratic incumbent Chris Pappas, a moderate congressman who had already won 2 competitive races in the district. Despite running a high-energy campaign that focused on economic concerns, border security, and criticism of the Biden administration, Leavitt lost to Pappas by 8 percentage points. Following her defeat, Leavitt shifted her focus to political consulting, working with a roster of Republican clients. Although she initially remained a visible figure in conservative circles, she ultimately declined to run again in 2024. Opting instead to build her career outside of elected office. However, Leavitt's political ambitions were soon overshadowed by campaign finance controversies. In 2022, the Federal Election Commission received a complaint from End Citizens United, a watchdog organization, alleging that Leavitt's campaign and its treasurer had illegally accepted donations over the legal limit and failed to repay donors. The allegations raised concerns about whether her campaign had violated federal finance laws. The issue resurfaced in January 2025 when Leavitt disclosed 17 amended campaign finance filings that revealed she had failed to report $326,370 in unpaid campaign debts for several years. Of this amount, approximately $200,000 consisted of illegal campaign contributions that exceeded federal donation limits and were never repaid. These revelations confirmed that her campaign had violated federal finance laws, adding a layer of controversy to her political record. In January 2024, Karoline Leavitt took on a high-profile role in national politics when she accepted the position of National Press Secretary for Donald Trump's 2024 presidential campaign. This appointment placed her at the forefront of the campaign's media strategy, making her one of the most visible spokespeople for the former president as he sought to reclaim the White House. Given her prior experience as a White House assistant press secretary under Kayleigh McEnany and her reputation as a staunch defender of Trump's policies, Leavitt was a natural fit for the role. As National Press Secretary, Leavitt was responsible for managing media relations, crafting official statements, and defending Trump against political opponents and critical press coverage. She was tasked with delivering the campaign's message to a broad audience, often appearing on television networks and conservative media outlets to promote Trump's agenda. Her combative style and unwavering loyalty to Trump made her a polarizing figure, admired by MAGA supporters, but frequently clashing with mainstream journalists. One of Leavitt's most notable media controversies occurred during an appearance on CNN this morning. In what was intended to be a routine interview, Leavitt was removed from the broadcast after arguing with the show's hosts about CNN's debate moderators. She accused the network of bias and claimed that the moderators lacked neutrality, a common criticism among Trump allies who believed mainstream media outlets were unfairly hostile toward the former president. The incident underscored her aggressive approach to media relations, reinforcing her reputation as a fiery and unapologetic conservative communicator. Beyond her official role in the Trump campaign, Leavitt was also an instructor for Project 2025's Conservative Governance 101 training program. Project 2025, an initiative led by the Heritage Foundation, aimed to prepare a new generation of conservative leaders for future Republican administrations. The program sought to train and place loyal conservative operatives in key government positions, ensuring that a future Trump or Republican administration would be staffed with individuals committed to enacting right-wing policies. On November 15, 2024, former President Donald Trump announced that Karoline Leavitt would serve as White House press secretary in his second administration, succeeding Karine Jean-Pierre. At just 27 years old, Leavitt became the youngest person ever appointed to the role, further cementing her status as a rising star in conservative politics. Her appointment underscored Trump's preference for loyalists and combative media figures, given her prior role as his 2024 campaign press secretary and her history of aggressively defending him in the media. Leavitt officially assumed office on January 20, 2025, the same day as Trump's second inauguration. Just over a week later, on January 28, 2025, she delivered her first White House press conference, during which she outlined a significant shift in the administration's approach to media access. She announced that independent journalists and social media influencers would be allowed to apply for White House press credentials in the future. This move was widely interpreted as an attempt to diminish the influence of traditional media outlets, which Trump and his allies frequently accused of bias, in favor of conservative-leaning digital influencers and alternative media figures who were more aligned with Trump's messaging. However, Leavitt's debut press conference quickly became controversial due to a false claim she made regarding U.S. foreign aid to Gaza. During the briefing, she stated that there was about to be $50 million taxpayer dollars that went out the door to fund condoms in Gaza. Her statement was widely shared on social media and later repeated by Trump himself, amplifying the claim among his supporters. Fact-checkers quickly debunked the assertion. PolitiFact reviewed the claim and stated that there is no evidence that the U.S. earmarked $50 million in condoms to Gaza, or that it has recently spent $50 million on condoms in Gaza. The organization noted that while a State Department spokesperson had confirmed that $100 million in humanitarian aid to Gaza had been frozen, some of which may have included funds for contraception, there was no proof that such a specific allocation for condoms ever existed. The controversy highlighted the ongoing tension between the Trump administration and mainstream media, as well as the administration's willingness to engage in hyperbolic claims that played well with its base. The next day, on January 29, 2025, Leavitt's social media activity directly influenced a legal decision. A federal judge cited her tweets in a ruling regarding a restraining order related to Trump's attempted freeze on federal funding. The judge's reference to her tweets suggested that the administration's public messaging and legal justifications were closely scrutinized in court proceedings, reflecting how Leavitt's role as press secretary could have direct legal and policy consequences. A month later, on February 25, 2025, Leavitt announced new restrictions on White House press access, stating that in the future, her team would determine who gets to enjoy the very privileged and limited access in spaces such as Air Force One and the Oval Office. This move was met with strong criticism from the White House Correspondents Association, WHCA, which issued a statement condemning the policy. The WHCA argued that this move tears at the independence of a free press in the United States, raising concerns about the administration's efforts to control media access and limit scrutiny from critical outlets. Karoline Leavitt's personal life has been a topic of public interest, particularly due to her marriage to Nicholas Riccio, a real estate developer who is 32 years her senior. Their relationship drew attention not only because of the significant age difference, but also because of Riccio's established career and wealth, which contrasted with Leavitt's rapid rise in conservative politics. Leavitt and Riccio announced their engagement in December 2023, and the couple later married in a private ceremony, keeping details largely out of the public eye. While the specifics of their wedding were not widely shared, the union became a subject of speculation, with some critics questioning the power dynamics of the relationship, while supporters defended it as a personal matter unrelated to her professional ambitions. On July 10, 2024, Leavitt gave birth to their first child, a son. Leading up to the birth, she had initially planned to take maternity leave to focus on her new role as a mother. However, those plans changed abruptly following the July 13, 2024, attempted assassination of Donald Trump in Pennsylvania. Deeply shaken by the event, Leavitt decided to cut short her maternity leave and resume her professional duties almost immediately. She later cited her belief that the moment required strong leadership and unwavering commitment, emphasizing that her loyalty to Trump and his administration took precedence over personal matters. Leavitt's decision to forego maternity leave became a polarizing topic. Among conservatives, it was seen as a testament to her dedication and resilience, reinforcing her reputation as a loyal Trump ally, willing to prioritize national events over personal life. However, critics viewed it as an extreme example of workaholism and political loyalty at the expense of her own well-being and that of her newborn child. Some also argued that it sent the wrong message about work-life balance for women in high-powered political roles, particularly given the ongoing debates around maternity leave policies in the U.S. Beyond her professional and personal choices, Leavitt's Catholic faith has been a significant influence in her life. She has spoken about how her Catholic schooling instilled in her a strong sense of discipline, a commitment to public service, and deeply held pro-life values. Her faith has shaped her stance on abortion, religious freedom, and family values, positioning her as a staunch advocate for conservative social policies. What do you think about Karoline Leavitt's change in appearance and her life? Leave us your comments in the section below. We hope you have found this helpful video. Don't forget to leave a like, share, and subscribe to the channel if you like it. Thank you for watching this and see you in the next videos. Goodbye.